All right, well, hello everyone and happy Wednesday. It's digital host A.J. Wuest here, welcoming you back to Before the Four, the live stream where I go through some of 48's top news stories and then some before our 4 o'clock newscast. I hope you all are having a great day so far today, wherever you're watching Before the Four this afternoon, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or the 48 Now live stream. As always, thank you so much for watching and spending just a bit of your afternoon here. Now first, let's begin in Marshall County, where last night we learned that a man was found dead yesterday morning near Asbury. According to Marshall County Coroner Cody Nugent, a death investigation is now underway after the man was found shot on Brothers Road. He said the man's body was found around 9 a.m. yesterday. Officials say the Marshall County Sheriff's Office and coroner are working with the Department of Forensics for further investigation. They also say the case is being treated like a homicide investigation. One person of interest is now in custody on other charges. The man found dead has now been identified as 69-year-old Jerry Anderson. And 48's Callie Neese will be speaking with the family of Anderson coming up in our evening newscasts, so make sure to stick around for the latest. But now let's take a look at the weather. The chance for isolated storms remain a threat for the next couple of days here in the Tennessee Valley. 48 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis with the latest. Brad?
Well, good afternoon, everyone. A little after 3 o'clock, and we've got some big thunderstorms out there. Very heavy rain. Got a severe thunderstorm warning now issued out towards the Shoals down to Russellville. Main threat there is going to be some smaller hail and maybe a wind gust at 60 miles per hour. That's mainly what the warning's for, but majority of these storms are only capable of about 45-mile-per-hour winds, but also want to watch out for some microburst threats. Street flooding a big issue too. Let's take a look at the radar here as we go forward. I want to show you the area with the severe thunderstorm warning back here towards Russellville, tracking to the east and northeast towards Muscle Shoals. Again, a lot of lightning and very heavy rain with this particular thunderstorm. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what the winds are like in this. Not a whole lot of wind, but again, I think it's probably a pre-warn here for a possibility that we may get a possible microburst there. And as far as the hail threat goes, probably looking at pea, maybe dime-sized hail with that. As we go over here and look at this other storm near Speak, tremendous amount of lightning going on with this particular storm. Velocity-wise, this could produce a microburst too. I'll turn the lightning off. It wouldn't be surprised if we get a big downburst. Had some trees down yesterday in parts of western Limestone County with the setup with the microburst potential. This storm here is moving towards Decatur, Priceville, Hartselle, potentially. Again, a lot of lightning with that. That's always a threat out there and a danger. Temperatures are becoming rain-cooled where the heavy rain is. You get farther east, we'll likely see additional storms because of the instability. Here's that 3-day forecast. We will see similar results Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Highs right around 90 with thunderstorms developing right around the noon hour each and every day. Everything fading away as we go towards sunset, although tonight some of these showers and storms could linger through about 9 o'clock.
Well, certainly good to know, and also make sure to stick around for First Alert Weather Extra tonight at 9:30. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis, he'll be back here in the CTV Center, and he'll have all the latest that he's seeing on the radar. And again, you can watch it wherever you're watching Before the Four this afternoon. Weather Extra, you're just not going to want to miss it. But now it is the end of the line for a popular Huntsville restaurant. Hound Harvest announced today its last day of service will be Sunday, July 13th. The restaurant will close at 4 p.m. that day. In a post on social media, the restaurant thanked everyone who made their backyard feel like home. Hound Harvest is holding a liquidation sale of all assets through Sunday, July 20th. The sale will be by appointment only. Now, the restaurant did not say why it was closing its doors. But now we are going to follow up on a story we first brought you earlier this week. State troopers have now released new details regarding the jet ski incident on the Elk River in Limestone County Monday that left a 17-year-old dead. 48's Faith Delp with those new details.
Within the last hour, Aaliyah told us this fatality involved 2 personal watercrafts, and the teen who died was being pulled by an inflatable raft on the Elk River. Aaliyah says a 17-year-old from Tennessee was operating one personal watercraft that was pulling the teen when she fell off. A second watercraft operated by a 48-year-old man then struck the teen. Coroner Mike Wuest told me she was unresponsive when medical help arrived. She was then taken to the Athens Limestone ER, where she was pronounced dead. I also talked with Clements volunteer firefighters who were too emotional to talk about trying to help her. Neighbors today did not want to be on camera, but they say it is usually pretty quiet around here. They believe she was staying with several people at one of the 2 Airbnbs near the scene of the accident. The nearby marina even said they don't see many jet skis out on the water, and they don't rent them out there. Aaliyah's Marine Patrol Division is continuing to investigate this crash. Reporting in Athens, Faith Delp 48 News on your side.
And now in Huntsville, where a 65-year-old man has been arrested on a human trafficking charge after allegedly offering support services. Prosecutors say he was preying on rather than preying with vulnerable women. 48's Nick Ballinger reports.
According to his charity's website, Michael McDougal was a shepherd for the needy. But Tim Douthit with the Madison County DA's office says McDougal would often lead his flock down a dark path.
But essentially, he would pretend to be a pastor or a religious leader, and he would prey on young, vulnerable people, homeless people, people coming out of jail, something like that. And, I'm going to give them spiritual guidance, I'm going to help them out, and also I'm going to get them to perform sexual favors in exchange for money while I'm doing it.
A Huntsville police investigation landed McDougal in jail for second-degree human trafficking.
Growing in God's grace, picking up food to feed the homeless.
Videos from his charity's Facebook page, Growing in God's Grace, show the work he was doing in the community.
Starting a blanket and a sleeping bag drive for the homeless camp.
His website says McDougal turned his life around after being arrested at an early age, even hosting a weekly Christian TV show in Detroit. The site claims he would shelter the homeless and help pray with ex-cons. Douthit says the only praying McDougal was doing was on women in need.
He finds out there's a young girl in jail or something and says, hey, I'll bond you out and you can come stay at my house, kind of thing. Or he goes to a homeless camp or something like that. It's not going to be anybody walking down the street. It's going to be somebody that's in a tight spot that he's taking advantage of.
Yet McDougal has many supporters who have proclaimed his innocence and have started a GoFundMe, already raising over $1,600 to go towards his $250,000 bond and hiring an attorney.
Now we're going to go to break, but coming up, an update on the DeKalb County EMA and a community rallying together to help out a family in need. It's all ahead. I'll be right back in 1 minute. All right, break time is over. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Before the Four. Now in DeKalb County, where the Emergency Management Agency will now for the first time be joining hands with EMAs statewide. Officials say this will be a positive across the board when dealing with natural disasters. 48 Savannah Sapp with those details.
For the first time on Tuesday, the DeKalb County Emergency Management Agency became a part of a statewide mutual aid agreement. That means they are legally able to cross county lines to help others during emergencies. EMA Director Michael Posey says his department has been doing this anyway, but there have been no guidelines or authority laid out for them when responding to other counties. He says becoming a part of the agreement allows his department to work closely with other county and city leaders to safely and efficiently provide resources to counties across the state. state. For example, he says if his employees are sent to help during a disaster, the agreement will temporarily give them authority in that outside county or municipality to do their jobs. It will also help lay out guidelines for who is responsible if the people helping get injured on the job. Posey says it will also help save the county some money.
It will reduce costs because I can call across the county line to get a resource that I need. If I know that they have it, I can call them and ask for the resource, provide mutual aid, and not have to order a resource from a vendor.
And Posey says this agreement has been in the works for more than 5 years in conjunction with the state EMA office. It will go into effect immediately. In DeKalb County, Savannah Sapp, 48 News, on your side.
And now in Muscle Shoals, where the community is coming together to rally and uplift a family who tragically lost everything in a house fire last week. 48's Aria Pons shares their story.
The Weavers have only lived in this home for a few years, but they've lived in Muscle Shoals for well over 25 years and worked with the school system just as long, creating very strong ties with this community.
You know, our community always shows up.
The last thing Derek and Allison Weaver were expecting on July 3rd was to lose their home. But when they did, a friend and coworker Scott Baisden says the community was right there.
He's touched a lot of young people's lives in this area, and so has Allison. You know, she's been teaching here for 25 years, so it didn't surprise me the way the community responded. You know, this is a great community. It's a great place to raise your family.
Firefighters fought the fire for hours and also managed to grab a few family photos and 2 of the 3 family dogs. The third was in the burning home for longer. She needed medical attention immediately and spent several days at the vet.
Such a blessing being a part of the community where everybody, you know, knows everybody and everybody cares. I mean, their neighbors' yards were full of people who were out, unfortunately, with them watching it burn, but waiting on them to be able to rescue their pets and seeing what they could salvage.
Longtime friend Mandy Beck says the Weavers picked up their dog on Monday, and when they showed up, they discovered the entire medical bill had been paid by the community. The community has also already raised nearly $50,000 for them.
I think the family really covets your prayers. I mean, just, you know, obviously just, you know, we're thankful for everything that everybody has done so far. The vet bills, the GoFundMe is amazing. But what they need right now is just our prayers to you know, have peace and patience and get back on their feet.
The Weavers say they cannot thank this community enough for the support, the generosity, and the continued prayers they've received over the last few days. Reporting in Muscle Shoals, Aria Pons, 48 on your side.
And now let's head into the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscasts. More details on an attempted murder in Limestone County. 2 men are now behind bars in connection to that situation. 48's Aria Pons will have more coming up. The latest on the Texas floods. More Tennessee Valley communities are coming together to help out with those floods. And hearing from an Ohio man who was struck by lightning in Gunnersville, and he lived to tell the tale. And these are just a few of the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscasts. And it is 3:53, y'all. It is time. It is, of course, that time for Facebook fun and our 48 Facebook question of the day. Name a food item that everyone seems to like, but you hate. And let me tell you, there are not a whole lot of food items that I hate. Hate is a very strong word. There are some foods I prefer over others. There might be some foods I dislike, but there is, on very rare occasions, a food item that I hate. But what I want to know is what you all had to say, and let's pull them up. English peas, that's what Sherry Borden said. You know, I will have to agree with you on that. I have never been a huge fan of English peas. Thank you for commenting. Bonnie said sushi. I agree with you on that one as well. I will not eat sushi. It is certainly not my go-to, and yeah, I just don't eat it. Nathan said avocado. Now, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that. You said you have a tree and a lot of them go to waste. I'm going to have to take you up on that, Nathan. Thank you for commenting. Cornbread, that's what Christy said. I disagree with that. I love cornbread with a passion. I can eat it very, very often, nearly daily. I love cornbread. Bacon, I disagree with that one as well. I don't know how you don't like bacon. Just a nice crispy piece of bacon. Yeah, I just don't know how you can dislike or hate bacon. But you know, we all have different tastes. Everyone is different 100%. But y'all, thank you so much for commenting on today's 48 Facebook question of the day. We will probably be continuing this question on tomorrow, so there's still time to comment a food item that everyone seems to like but you hate on our Facebook account right now. So leave a comment and you might get shouted out tomorrow on Before the 4. But y'all, that is just about all the time I have for today's Before the 4, but thank you so much for watching and spending just a bit of your Wednesday afternoon here. I hope you all have a great evening. Stay weather alert out there. I know there's some thunderstorms moving across the Tennessee Valley this afternoon, so stay weather alert. Enjoy tonight's evening newscast, and as always, thank you so much for watching. You all have a great night.